Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to cover a new area in the mental toughness world of sport that I like to call mental minimalism. Just like minimalism in the physical world, you'll learn how to remove a lot of the internal clutter that's been holding you back from focusing clearly and competing confidently. This is a video you want to watch until the end, as you'll gain a greater understanding into some of the mental mistakes you're currently making and how to clear your mind to make way for a brighter, more successful future. You're watching SPMI TV. The general term of minimalism is all about living with less material possessions and is a tool that overall helps many to achieve a feeling of emotional freedom. In fact, the opposite of emotional freedom is suffering, and suffering has been defined by some as simply living in excess. In society, many people are conditioned that their lives are empty without having the latest gadgets such as a new car, a phone, or shoes. Oh, and if you have the latest, then that oftentimes isn't enough either, because you may also be told that what you own needs to be better than your neighbor's. Of course, living in excess in the external world has led to emotional struggles, such as an increase in unhappiness and in feelings of emptiness, and even a feeling of lack of self-worth. However, with minimalism, people are given back a lot of their power. This is because they're able to remove much of the worldly attachments and are now able to feel internally at peace again. Of course, I'm not advocating being cheap or having nothing. In fact, I always encourage my athletes to pursue their goals no matter how big they are. But the idea of minimalism is more about clearing out a lot of the unnecessary excess. Now, what is mental minimalism? Mental minimalism is similar to general minimalism, and in many ways is more critical to athlete success and well-being. Mental minimalism is about removing the emotional attachments specifically to outcomes. Getting rid of our attachments to outcomes is pivotal for athletes when in pursuit of their goals. Attachments such as the need to win, impress others, and receive validation so others can say we finally arrived. Having worked with many athletes over the years, I've seen mental excess and emotional attachments break down athletes, from once loving the sport to later disliking the sport and even worse, disliking themselves. So, let's go over some effective solutions on how to incorporate mental minimalism into your training. First, let's start with your ideal number of thoughts. During competition, you want to reduce your thinking to as few thoughts as possible. In many cases, to only one thought. To do this, write down which thoughts you often encounter before and during competition that aren't helpful, and start throwing those thoughts out. Some of those thoughts are thoughts such as negative thoughts, and thoughts that are overly technical. And also, throw out thoughts that are just taking up space, such as thoughts about future possible outcomes. As an athlete, you don't need to know what will happen beyond the next task. And if you try to figure it out, then you'll just end up with more thoughts. Next, start removing the excess noise. This means you want to reduce the amount of feedback you get from your coaches, parents, friends, and even worse, social media. Start eliminating checking behaviors, such as checking to see on social media what others are saying about you or your opponent, or asking everyone you know for advice. And especially, stop checking ranking websites. Those websites almost always guarantee an increase in clutter in your mind. You may even find it best to shut off your phone for several hours or more before competition. Removing this mental clutter will reduce anxiety levels and quiet the mind more. Lastly, do less training. Now, I don't mean that you should train with less intensity. Instead, what I mean is that you want to reduce the number of drills and exercises each day to only the most important ones. For example, instead of having 10 different drills, focus on the most important 3. By reducing the quantity of training you partake in, you'll notice an increase in the quality of training and in your overall results and well-being. Less clutter in your daily training schedule equals more clarity in your mind. You may even find that your motivational levels increase as well. So, Now you have a greater understanding of the importance of mental minimalism and how to start applying it to your training and competitions. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like it, as it greatly helps out the channel. And if you're looking for ways to always improve your performance, then please subscribe to the channel. I release new content on the latest mental toughness skills every week. Also, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, then check out the company podcast called the SPMI Podcast. I release more detailed discussions on every mental toughness topic mentioned and more. Lastly, if you're serious about wanting to master the mental game and take your sport to the next level, then please check out the company website listed below. Here you'll find programs for one-on-one training, group training, and the latest courses. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.